Hello everyone. I'm back. Anyway, um I started to do stuff and I saw something and then I started getting more downloads um or you know, have a conversation while I was trying to have my coffee. Um which I still really didn't have because it kept getting cold and you know, yes, I do put it in the microwave, to heat it up because technically I don't like wasting. Well, I guess by it's constantly getting cold and me heating it up, well, if you didn't know, after a while, a cup will break and get weak. But anyway, um, let's get started. I don't know how long this is going to be, but now I speak about different things, but it all blends together. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, let's speak about, you know, how people treat each other. Now, I'm not saying it's everybody or everyone. I've been saying, we all need to work together, help each other, make it better, you know, not only for ourselves, for everyone to be better, whether, it's to in affording something, which, everyone should be able to afford to live comfortable, you know, provide for their families, their home, bills, and etc. Now, it don't matter what you do, how much you have. Everyone should be able to have a home and what bills come with, you know, comes with the home, what insurances you have, paying out, that is supposed to cover, but don't. And it's a lot that you pay out for it. You get things fixed, what breaks. But it breaks way before, as in what needs to be fixed on, whatever, but should last, but don't. I mean that, either wasn't done right, or breaks at the right time, after you fix it. Everybody knows what that is. It means, because of you replaced it, either with old and it's made to look new, you know. Oh, I dealt with that a lot. Um, you know, either wind takes whatever down, or whatever, and, that's with anything. Um, I said all this, before. The thing is, it should be where everybody can afford whatever. Anyway, let's get into, it's one thing, bullying, shaming, being toxic, a Karen, whatever you want to say. Either ones, if they're either single, in school, jealous of something, whatever it may be. Then you have, the married ones. You do the same thing. But no one or anyone should do any of that. Whatever it may be. You help each other. Now, like I said, I thought about this. Like I said, I got messages about it. And I might have said it, but, I'll say it again. Because I heard something. And maybe it will be a little bit better to understand it, or whatever, how you want to take it. Now it's for, everything, what you go through. It don't help doing it to others, the same thing. It don't help to push everything off either to someone else. This way you can feel better. For them to handle whatever it is. For you. But thing is, you ask for help and solve it. to make you feel better and do better for others. Now, for the married ones, now it depends on what, you know, how and everything. I mean, he's got married. I mean, for a single too, and you have a long time, partner or whatever, and then eventually get married, whatever. People forget when you get married, there are some changes from when you first met. A lot of people forget, or it was never told, or whatever. Now, if you didn't know, yes, there might be changes with both, and it could be with one. Now, most of the time, that might, and it depends, when after you have children. But again, people don't speak about it or no. When you do get married, you will gain weight. Okay? But the thing is, that's from being content and having the love you both share with each other. And if you have children, and to your children. It's the kind of weight that's not a lot and it's not over. You still look fit. I can't explain it. You have to have that feeling. But anyway, then with, weight and having a baby. Yes, the man sometimes will get that weight. As the baby grows. And along with it, you get the other symptoms that, the wife, the mother go through until the baby's born. Now, the thing is, it's like sympathy, symptoms, or sympathy, pains that the man goes through. But once that baby's born, the man will go back to where their weight was. Sometimes. But the woman, if they don't heal right and do, a little at a time, after that healing is done, I think it's like 6 weeks. It depends, on the delivery. You have 6 weeks that you cannot do anything, but it could be a little bit longer. But once that is done, and you do little at a time, and you get permission when you really can do what you did before. But the thing is, you also need to put cocoa butter. That helps with the stretch marks, and it does tighten, to bring back your normal weight, whatever it may be. But if you don't do that, and then not long after, the first baby, you're having another. So now you're gaining more. Because you didn't, do what you were supposed to, or, and to help out with the, so after you give birth, now it's going to be a little harder to lose. Because you're not healing the right way. Exercising, now that could be, anyway, it could be you're getting the exercise, chasing after the baby, when you're cleaning up, doing a little, whatever. But usually, if you don't do any of that, and you have them real close, I'm not saying that you can't have them real close, but if you don't lose that weight with your first, and then you have others like really close without, then it's going to be harder. And it might be slower. Which, you know what that can turn into. overeating. Now, I'm not saying it's with everyone about the weight. It could be, from complications or something. Now, with the weight, and if both gained weight, and the thing is, one is shaming the other. And, saying all kinds of things. Oh, I don't want anything to do with you. Oh, you should lose the weight. If you don't, I'm leaving, and etc. Blah, 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 whatever. Now, the thing is, both of you gained, and it's a little over. How can the one thinks it's okay for them to be, and it's no problem, but the other one is, you say all kinds of things, and they have to lose that weight, or they have to do this, they have to do that. Okay. So, then by doing that, how do you think that by doing all that, how can they? When all they have, coming at them is, bullying or shaming and whatever else. What do you think you're doing? Other than, getting them even more not to feel motivated, not getting the right help. you know, going deeper and deeper. When both of you needs to lose the weight. And need to see the right professional that knows the body type, along with knowing what issues you have with your body. As in, you could be lacking something. You don't have enough of something, or maybe you have too much of something. Other things might, come. Ouch. If it's not about weight, if you're stressing about whatever it may be, if you both don't help each other, even with the weight, you don't criticize, you don't whatever, you have a conversation. But if you don't do that, help each other and all that, or go get help, then you do know you will get other issues that, can trigger. That never hit you before, until you got the stress, worrying, not helping each other, communicating, listening. And solving, in the beginning, before it got out of control, which, that was easier to solve. Now with the triggers, if you have stress, people, or whatever, can be, what you handled when you grew up. what you saw, what you grew up with, and whatever else. It could be abuse, someone who drinks a lot, bullies, and etc. Whatever it may be. And, all the arguments, saying who isn't doing anything, who is doing more. I don't need to explain anymore. You get what I mean. But, with all of that, none of it should be, and no one should be treated bad. I mean, now if someone is toxic, and they were in the beginning very little, before you got married or before you went into a long-term whatever, but it got worse after. You should have walked away. You should have went with your first red flag. You never stay with, someone who is toxic or is constantly speaking negative or whatever, abusive. Now, if you don't speak to each other, like I said, or help each other, don't criticize and do what you're also going through. And just looking at it as in one side, like it's just all them and nothing is you. Both need to work together. And with the others, who aren't married and are doing what I was saying, doesn't matter. You're going through, but you're doing it to, others, thinking that it's going to help you. Look at yourself first. Before you do anything to others. especially when you don't know what they are already going through. Now, you don't want to get help or speak to each other and whatever else, to solve it, whether it's in a marriage or, like I said, you're living with somebody for a long time or whatever. And if, you've been with the person a long time and then maybe later on you decide that you said you want to get married, but you have kids, or you don't and you want kids after, try to work together and fix it, whether it's marriage or what. But if you know for a fact, you realize it, the red flag, toxic, whatever, that what I said, you walk away. You weren't meant. And don't stay because you have kids. Because you both weren't meant. And having those beautiful children, who were meant. Don't have them hear all that arguing and whatever else for them to grow up with it. I mean, if you did, with the bullying, etc., etc., it's time to break that. Don't let them hear that. And never speak bad about each other to them. Eventually they'll figure out, whatever. Both of you just walk away and be friendly about it, as adults should. This way, they'll know that it's okay to walk away if you're not meant to be together. And show them because you're not meant to be together, that doesn't mean that you can't get along. I mean, now I'm not saying, when you are meant to be together, that you won't, that you won't have disagreements or whatever once in a while, but they will be solved. What about? Oh, okay. You never speak to anyone bad about anything. Or do anything bad to anyone. Especially if it's something you're going through as them. And don't put something or speak about someone what you're only going through and they're not. As I said, if you don't know what they are already going through and you add what you're doing, you don't know what could happen. It might not turn out as you thought. Now, we all know that it will backfire, but the thing is, it might backfire. Because you don't know how that person will react to it. You know, if you put all that, and if it backfires, and it's with bad intentions, you know. I'm speaking about what they might do at that moment because you set them off. The thing is, if that happens, you know very well it's self-defense. And believe me, they will have witnesses. That you're the one who started it. So advice is, don't do what you don't want back. And what someone does in self-defense. Also, don't start something where you don't belong involving others. What you are already going through. Don't start anything to get others involved, especially on lies, rumors, assuming, whatever else it may be. Always ask, the person who knows the truth, especially if it's about them. They are the only one who knows the truth about themselves. Don't start anything what you can't handle. Or go through. Or going to go through. It's best to get answers on what you need help with. Or, leave it alone. Walk away. Or just get help. Don't involve others. first of all, you don't know who you might come up against. Especially if you have no business to mess with them. You never know who they have with them or who they are. Now this one, yeah, I spoke about this too. You never, ever, most definitely you never, whether you believe or not, you do not involve, mess with, challenge them, mock them, and whatever else. Now, I spoke about this before. And we all know who it is. That is God, Jesus, Spirit, your angels, ancestors, you know. Just to prove something to you. Especially if you don't believe in them or what they do. Because they won't. They won't prove who they are, what they do. Whatever it may be. Now, if you need answers, help, guidance, and you are true, as in not doing bad intentions, I need the help from them. No, they will. Now, if you didn't, see or whatever, hear, your answers before, ask to have it, more clearer for you to see, the answers and understand better. Then they will do that. Now, if you ask, help to find ones, to be caught that do or have bad intentions, then they will. And again, ask to have it more clearer to see where or whatever, how to catch them, whatever, find them, whatever it may be, to know and understand it. You don't mess with their intelligence, You don't mess with them as if it's a game. If it's to find someone, for no reason, you have no business. Like everything else that I said, no, they won't help. Especially if it's for no reason and it's for, bad intentions. Also, it depends on what and who. Now, if it's for good reasons and good intentions, then they will. You'll get answers. But like I said, if it's for no reason, bad intentions, no, you won't. But like I said, depends what it is, who it is, for what, etc. With the bad intentions. Yeah, you will get an answer. But it won't be how you thought. Now, if you need help in believing in them, say in them again, or it might be your first time, ask them. Not that you need the proof, but ask them. To make it clear for you to, understand how they're answering to help you to believe. And to continue to guide you, to help you see and pay attention better. What and how they are showing your answers to your questions. Thing is, a spirit, God, you know, you can't just pretend that you know, want something or whatever. You know, pretending that it's for a good use or whatever it may be. Remember, they see everything. They hear everything. Even if you are talking in your head, you know, thinking of something without, speaking out loud. You know, so don't ever especially doing anything, to innocent ones, getting people involved or whatever. And especially, chosen ones that, God speaks through. Whatever, how you want to say it. You never play in spirit. Thinking that they won't know. I mean, for ones that need to believe, take, what I've been going through. I mean, and what others went through, maybe similar. I don't know, because I don't get into anybody's business. So take, for instance, what I've been going through since I only know about myself. And all the ones that have done. I mean, you want proof? I mean, look around. What's been happening to the ones who've been doing it, or where they are, or, how they're looking now, whatever. I mean, take, when I said, for the ones who've been doing it, you're going to start a fire, or, whatever. And it didn't one, burn down their whatever. I mean, it was a church, but it wasn't a church, whatever. I don't remember. It was before. For you to get proof or whatever, you have to be careful what you think. How you say it. How you ask. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, you can have a normal conversation, with your ancestors, with God, Jesus, your spiritual team, whatever. But like I said, they work their butts off to help guide us and whatever. They never, ever, ever gave up on us. Even the whole time that we just forgot about them, didn't believe in them. We got guided away, whatever. And whatever, how long they've been trying to guide us back, etc. So, like I said, you can have normal conversations with whatever, whoever, an ancestor, a loved one, whatever. Like they're here. If you ask questions, they'll show you one way or another. And I explained that, how. I mean, there's lots of ways. What I mentioned, don't think that you can just go and, say one thing like you mean well, you have good intentions and whatever else, but maybe like 2 minutes before that, or maybe longer before that, you were like hashing it out in your mind, or because people were around and you were just thinking, let's see, how should I say it, what should I do, whatever. Yeah, they won't know. Why? I'm asking. Oh, they won't know what the reason is. Yeah, for them to hear. I'll speak out loud, but nobody will be around. But what I was thinking and what I'm saying out loud to them, oh, it's totally different. They won't know the difference. When I'm speaking out loud, they'll think that I'm good. I'm doing something good. Like they're not going to know the whole time what you've been doing. Adding it to the list, depends on how long. Who you've been doing it to, etc. Because, like I always, and I'm not the only one who's said it, when it backfires, you don't know who it's going to hit first. How we all said, stop ruining your bloodline. Stop doing what you're doing because you don't know what's going to hit you. But hey, you'll find out. So I needed to bring that up again. Because I guess apparently someone, I don't know, or whoever, but again, it's none of my business. With everything that I did say, just be careful what you're doing. Don't do something that you don't know what will backfire. And if you are trying to do, what you went through and not to do, if you have children, or, say how your father or whoever treated their wife or their girlfriend or whatever, and you tried not to do that and stuff like that, but something, instead of speaking to each other, more you don't, something will trigger or do something, and then it will trigger that, or whatever it may be, bullying, shaming, abusive, whatever. Instead of talking it out, trying to solve it. Now, if you can't, like I said, you walk away being friendly. And because you both aren't meant in the first place. But don't stop what happened before, what you swore you wouldn't do, but you are, because something triggered it. Still take that step and put a stop to it. And don't let your children see it. And work on yourself, whatever. I mean, you both, it doesn't matter if you work on yourself or whatever, I don't know. I mean, if it's meant for you to come back together, whatever, depends. I'm not going to get into all that. But because you aren't meant for each other, you still be friendly with each other. And show your children that both can. And you never speak bad about one another. As I said, as they grow up, they'll see. And they might not see. It was just because you guys were together, So it depends. But other than that, again, don't say, think, or do for no reason. And with bad intentions. Because remember, and don't get people involved. Work on. I mean, if it's a case that, I mentioned, whatever, work on yourself. This way you can work on being part of making it better around us and around the world. But anyway, I've been on long enough. Again, everyone have a great day. And yeah. And everyone, thank you. And as always, proud of you. And keep up the great job, great work, progress, and etc. Never quit. And always know everyone is good enough to do something, whatever that may be. Anyway, I have to go. I'm being called. So, hope this helps. Ciao.